this video. Viewer discretion is advised.
I used to wonder what friendship could be, until you all shared its magic.
My name is Pinkie Pie, hello, and I am here to say, how you doing? I'm gonna make you smile.
Oh boy! It's time! Season 3. Let's go. Yep.
Your Highness,
Yes?
I am simply to tell you that it has returned.
But what I do know is that it contains a powerful magic. 1,000 years ago, King Sombra, a unicorn whose heart was black as night, took over the Crystal Empire.
He's gonna be better than Discord. I swear.
He was ultimately overthrown, turned to shadow, and banished to the ice of the Arctic North.
Best villain. Best villain.
But not before he was able to put a curse upon the Empire. A curse that caused it to vanish into thin air.
Fuck yeah. Oh yeah.
If the Empire is filled with hope and love, those things are reflected across all of Equestria. If hatred and fear take hold,
So badass!
Holy shit.
Under attack.
Oh, fucking shadows. Oh, damn. Oh yeah.
Behold, the Crystal Princess!
The Crystal Heart has returned.
Cadence!
Use the light enough within you to ensure that King Sombra does not.
What? No. No. Stop!
What?
Supposed to be the best villain! The best! Not the worst! He's worse than Nightmare Moon! No screen time! None! Where was he half the episode? I don't know! In Magical Fairyland! worst villain. He's the worst villain.
Sir?
What?
Let me tell you why that statement is bullshit. Hello, child. Let me take you to a magical world where all your questions will be revealed.
Do you mean Equestria?
No, not Equestria. No, to a place of wisdom and harmony and a really, really dark screen.
Words unspoken will be there soon. For home a song that echoes.
Hey guys, it's Ray from Ray-Ban Dash, or for my followers on Tumblr, Neltharian. Anyway, I'm here to talk to you today about King Sombra, who, in my opinion, is the best villain in My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, and arguably the best villain in animation that I've seen in a really long time. And that is a controversial thing to say, considering the fact that King Sombra was not well received by the Brony community. Many people think he is a cliché villain. This is based on the fact that, one, he had mainly no screen time. I mean, he had like 20 lines, I think, and most of that was just regurgitated nonsense. Then many thought he had no definable personality. And another final thing was that a lot of people thought he looked like a bad OC. Now, personally, I loved his design from the very start, but most people, for some reason, seem to think that he looked like a bad OC, even going so far as to call him Lord Donut Steel. You know, the joke, if you got that. And honestly, these three reasons, I think, don't really make Sombra a bad villain. In fact, they're not really problems for Sombra. They're just misunderstandings, mainly. The first thing I'm going to talk about here is King Sombra's lack of screen time. Yes, it's true. King Sombra is not a Discord. He's not a Queen Chrysalis. You know, he's not up in your face, you know, talking about how evil he is or how just awesome he is. No, he's doing those actions. While Chrysalis or Discord were talking about how awesome they were, and I love Chrysalis and Discord, by the way. They were great villains on their own. But, while they did that, they were defeated. King Sombra never let up. He was always doing the actions. He was constantly showing that he was a great villain and not talking about it. And in all honesty, a villain whose actions speak louder than their words, that makes a good villain. That makes a better villain than anything I've seen in My Little Pony so far. And let's not forget, some of the greatest villains that we know of barely had any screen time in the first place. I mean, look at Sauron, who King Sombra is based off of. I mean, Sauron had less screen time than Sombra. But, I mean, he's Sauron. What more can I say? Now, another thing, and this one might take a bit longer to describe, but King Sombra had a personality, and he had a pretty extensive one compared to other villains. I think a good example would be to compare him to Queen Chrysalis, who is one of the fan-favorite villains. I mean, let's think for a minute. She was evil, obviously, and we know that her huge, awesome plan of infiltrating Canterlot as Princess Cadence, as we see that, we know that she's extremely cunning. We know she's extremely manipulative. Other than that, though, what do we know about Queen Chrysalis? Other than those two things, what do we know about her as a character? Nothing. There's nothing else out there about her that we know. Let's go to King Sombra. We see he is highly intelligent. And we see these through his traps. I mean, these traps King Sombra set up 1,000 years before the episode. He set them up before he was locked in the glacier. This means he had to think, there might come a time when I am defeated, and I'll need something to keep my enemies from finding the crystal heart. He created the traps, and they were good ones too. These traps made this, they ensnared the smartest person in all of Equestria, Twilight Sparkle. She fell for every single one. She fell for the door, she fell for the stairs, and she fell for the trap near the crystal heart. All of them. She fell for every single one. And the very fact that King Sombra was able to think ahead like that just shows how intelligent he was. I mean, he took his enemies seriously, and he strategically placed those traps there. It was almost as if he was reading the mind of someone who wouldn't exist for another 1,000 years. So that makes King Sombra highly intelligent, arguably more intelligent than Twilight, considering the fact that he outsmarted her time and time again, and Twilight wasn't even facing Sombra himself. It was his traps. It was the things he had set up 1,000 years prior to the episode. And I just love the fact that King Sombra was able to cause just as much havoc on all of Equestria as the other villains, if not more, and he wasn't even there most of the time. You see, King Sombra is just so intelligent and he's a strategist. Another thing is his presence. You feel King Sombra's presence throughout the whole episode. When a crystal pony even thinks about him, she's just terrified. You see the crystal ponies just depressed and just afraid of everything because of what King Sombra did to them. You see the traps that he puts Twilight through. You see the hell he's putting Cadence through while she's trying to keep him from getting into the Crystal Empire. He just has such a strong and menacing presence, and what power too. Something that a lot of people don't think about is the fact that, you know, even though villains like Queen Chrysalis are in your face, we still don't see that much of their character. But King Sombra, even though we didn't see him that much, we knew that he was intelligent, he was evil, just probably the most evil in the whole show. We know he was a great strategist. We know that he was merciless, and he was also power hungry. We see more of King Sombra than we do see of Chrysalis. We do. We really do. He has a personality. You just have to look for it. There are hints of it throughout the whole episode. Another thing, people say King Sombra looks like a bad OC. Now let's think about this for a minute. Why is he viewed as an OC? Well, this is mainly because of his eyes. That's probably the biggest one. Then you have his horn. Then you have his fangs and the color of his fur. Now, the eyes. The eyes are clearly not King Sombra's natural eye color. King Sombra's natural eye color is like a regular pony. I mean, his pupils are red. I mean, red doesn't make him evil. We know so many ponies in Equestria that have red eyes. I mean, Vinyl Scratch, she has red eyes. Another thing, the clothes, King Sombra's armor, that's clothing that he wears. He wears those. Okay, that's not him. That's his clothing. So if you think about King Sombra, and he was just walking around just like a normal pony, he would be a pony with red eyes, a red horn, a gray mane, and the fangs. I think the best illustration for King Sombra, just naturally, would be from the Ask King Sombra blog on Tumblr, done by the amazing Wiggles. She has created a great story, and she has has a very interesting take on Sombra, and it's a good story at that. I highly recommend you follow her, and if you don't have a Tumblr, make one! Now, I have to give props to Megan McCarthy. She made a great villain. A villain, in my in my opinion, that was for a more of an adult audience than the younger audience of My Little Pony. At least the one they usually go after. No one expected the bronies, of course. Which is why I think the Crystal Empire was made for the brony community more so than the original audience of the little kids. I mean, we do have all these hints at King Sombra's personality, but they're not, like, just out in the open with, say, Chrysalis. So, I hope he comes back. I know Megan McCarthy said he was dead, but we all know if a villain is just loved by fans and they are extremely popular, they will come back. It doesn't matter if they are dead or not. I mean, look at Boba Fett. So, I really would like to see King Sombra as the Ganondorf of My Little Pony. I really hope that this awesome villain is not wasted on a two-parter. But if not, I will be satisfied, because I think King Sombra was just amazing. And if you want to follow the Ask King Sombra blog, it will be in the description. So anyway, I am going to depart now. Farewell, everyone.
Mom says hi, Jinx. Yeah, 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 yeah.